Most welcome to Historiespanarna History Reconnaissance. This is Big Lift 1963. Moving the US 2nd Army Division, hell on wheels from Texas to Germany. 15,000 personnel and 500 tons of equipment in 64 hours. The largest movement of troops by air to that date. An exercise to prepare for a likely attack by Warsaw Pact forces into West Germany. So, follow us in this detailed account, and please, like, share and subscribe. It means a lot to us. The early morning of October 22nd, 1963, soldiers of the 2nd Army Division at Fort Hood, Texas, was on their way with their gear and individual weapons to hundreds of large cargo aircraft from MATS, the Military Air Transportation Service. Their destination was the front line of Cold War Western Germany. In a speech slated for November 22, 1963, President Kennedy planned to use this exercise as proof that the nation was prepared as never before to move substantial numbers of men in surprisingly little time to advanced positions anywhere in the world. This was not to be. So these words from JFK are spoken prior to Big Lift.
We have the strongest peacetime army in the history of our country, and one which can meet its responsibilities all around the globe. To make it more mobile, to increase its training and competence, to make it more responsive, to make it better able to fulfill its missions. These are the assignments of the Army, and I believe that a strong Army can mean a strong America. We must continue to meet our responsibilities. We must continue to have a strong country in a strong alliance in a strong free world. And to do that, we need a strong Army, which is the point of the spear.
I know you'll really make your tank crew click all the way through this maneuver. It's going to be a wonderful experience for every professional soldier that has a chance to go, and all of the citizen soldiers too. We'll be remembering this a long time. I'll see you over there.
Over the next 64 hours, the 2nd Armored Division, 2 artillery battalions and other transportation units from around the country made a day-long flight across the Atlantic. An air strike force went as well. Altogether, the planes made over 200 flights, ferrying some 15,000 personnel and nearly 500 tons of equipment. This operation, Big Lift, was a pre-planned exercise, announced by Defense Secretary Robert McNamara on September 23rd. The purpose was to provide a dramatic illustration of the United States' capability for rapid reinforcements of NATO force. On arrival in Western Germany, soldiers made their way to strategically located depots, collecting a wide array of heavy equipment. The army had stored these items, enough for 2 divisions and 10 combat support elements, following the 1961 Berlin crisis. They were available for US troops airlifted to Germany should another crisis occur. After collecting the material, the 2nd Armored met up with elements from the US 7th Army, the field command in Europe, for a week-long NATO exercise, simulating an attack from the Warsaw Pact along the border between East and West Germany. The exercise took place in West Germany, between Darmstadt to the south and Marburg and Hirschfeld to the north. This is the pre-position area near Kaiserslautern. Waiting here for the men are tanks, carriers, guns and trucks. The same type of tanks they were outfitted with in Fort Hood. At least, that was the official version. According to other sources, it was mostly older M48 tanks and M59 armored personnel carriers. The 7th Army had devoted huge resources and a long time to prepare the pre-positioned equipment for the exercise. Perhaps not a realistic scenario for a real crisis. Marrying up operations were accomplished almost 24 hours ahead of schedule by the men from Texas. The 2nd Armor living up to its name, Hell on Wheels. They were ready to roll. It was a river stretching on for miles. Refueling was made quickly along the Autobahn. American MPs and German police cooperated to keep civilian and commercial traffic going without scarcely a break.
I'm the Provost Marshal of the 2nd Armored Division, responsible for discipline, law, and order within the division proper. I have also the prime responsibility for traffic control of this division here in Europe. To accomplish this mission, I have 177 military policemen and 7 officers assigned. Now, some of our problems have been taking these long tracks, these long columns, and to give you an example of how long this outfit is, the division alone will stretch out something like 200 miles, both combat and support elements if placed in a single file. Doing this, we have placed this on a road net with German traffic on holidays and in no way interfere with the German traffic proper.
One concern during Big Lift was the control of damage to privately owned property. But damages claimed for this turned out to be low. Safety was high, and the German public was friendly, turning out to welcome the troops. And, as always, the children headed the reception committee. Enemy, Orange Force, was the US 3rd Infantry Division. Elements of the 8th Infantry Division, the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment, and a reinforced Panzergrenadier Battalion from the 3rd German Corps served as the friendly Blue Force. In all, nearly 46,000 personnel, 900 tanks, and hundreds of trucks and armored personnel carriers participated. The aggressor made his big push just before dawn of November 5th. Friendly forces were hit hard by enemy advanced elements. They rode with a punch according to plans and suffered a minimum of casualties. Rivers were crossed, machines were moved. Some were towed, some swam. The US Air Force went into action, flying 759 sorties in support. Gradually, the men from Texas pushed enemy back. The Blue Force suffered heavy damage in the partially arranged battles, before finally proving victorious. It was time to return the pre-positioned equipment and start cleaning up. Between November 12th and 21st, 1963, most of the US-based force redeployed stateside. Big Lift was by many experts at the time considered a success, in terms of its fundamental objective to deploy a large force quickly overseas that would collect pre-positioned equipment and use it in field exercises. Critics, on the other hand, considered that Big Lift was not an accurate test of a strategic airlift. Still, the concept behind Big Lift became a cornerstone of US military strategy during and after the Vietnam War. Beginning in 1969, the Army held exercises called Reforger, redeployment of forces to Germany, airlifting troops to Europe, collecting pre-positioned equipment, and participating in NATO field exercises, much as had occurred during Big Lift.
That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.